Most important concepts that we study with generative AI is called LLM. Now, everywhere you will hear the word LLM, but what exactly is LLM? So LLM stands for large language models. As the name suggests, these are really large, right? They are first of all not small models. Here we are talking about multi-millions or billions of parameters on which the model is based, right? And as the name suggests, language, so definitely they are related to NLP, or the natural language processing that we studied, right? So LLMs are sophisticated AI systems that are designed for processing, understanding, and generating human language. That's very important, right? So what it is saying is that, let's say you give some input, so it is able to understand that input, it can process that input, and based on that processing, it can actually generate human language for you. Like we take an example, if you ask the LLM to write a poem or write a story for you, so that is the kind of input you are giving to the model, right? And based on that, it can actually come up with a human language for you. So as the name suggests, large, so the main thing is the scale and complexity. So what it says, as the number of parameters increase, the complexity of the model increases. Now, every time you will hear the word parameters, so we'll go more deep dive into parameters, but first let's understand the scale and complexity. So LLMs are composed of millions or billions of parameters, right? Making them highly complex. Now, the best example we use is for ChatGPT or the OpenAI system, GPT-4, with its vast number of parameters, which can generate human-like text. Now the question comes, but what are these parameters, right? So the best way to understand a parameter is, let's say you are building a house, right? So if you're building a house, what could be the various parameters for a house? It could be the number of rooms in the house, right? It could be the size of the rooms, right? It could be the layout of the house, right? So these all are parameters, right? Now, if we actually translate into an LLM, right, what could be the parameters for LLM? It could be the ability to generate, you can say it can generate different types of text, right? This is one parameter. It can translate text, right? So if you give it in English, it can give you in French, in German. It can create a summary for you. It can create, let's say, a poem. It can create, let's say, a story. It can create a letter, right? So these are just few examples of parameters, right? But here we are talking about billions of parameters. So just think about it. Because of that, there's a huge scale, and that makes the model complex. So they are trained on vast data sets, right? Comprising a wide range of internet text. So I think we already studied in GPT-3, GPT-4 that these models are not simply that you are just giving some training data, sample data. No, they are trained on vast amount of data. Like they would be trained on all the articles from Telegraph, all the articles that are there on Wikipedia. So it's example is GPT-4, which is trained on diverse data set, which includes books, websites, and other text, right? So we already studied about it. Now, yes, very important. So you can be asked which are the popular LLMs, right? So this list will keep on growing, but mainly I will keep OpenAI. So from OpenAI, you have GPT-3, GPT-4. So Google came up with Bard, and then it was not very successful, and now they've come up with Gemini. So Gemini is really becoming popular. I believe by the time you'll be working on this lesson, it might actually be available in your mobile phones as well. So Google has got Gemini. Then there is Cohere. So Oracle has got a good tie-up with Cohere. So a lot of, so you'll see that in OCI, you will get the Cohere models. Then we have Llama, which is actually from Meta or Facebook. So these are some of the popular LLMs. So as the name suggests, it is used for natural language understanding and generation. So pretty simple, right? That's what we said, that it's designed for processing, understanding, and generating. So LLMs can help you to understand and generate human-like language. So I think we've seen examples like you can write essay, poem, or even simulate the conversation. So applications, yes, there can be a lot of applications, like you can create chatbots, you can create content, it can be used for language translation, as I gave you some examples of my parameters, right? So example like GPT-4 powers the advanced chatbots in today's world. So because this is AI, because it is all based on machine learning, these models are constantly learning, right? So as it says, most LLMs use a form of deep learning, right? You now might remember with deep learning, what did we study? We studied neural networks, how the brain, how the human brain works, right? You understood the concept of transformers, right? So it's all based on this. So it says that the learning method is based on deep learning, and it is effective at processing sequences of data, right? So GPT-4 uses transformer architecture, which we already studied. And again, this is continuous learning. It's not that you've given the training data and here you go. No, it is constantly learning from the inputs, the output the person is getting, the prompts that you are giving. So LLMs are designed to continually learn and improve. Very important. That's the key here, right? They are improving over time with more data and user interaction, right? Like GPT-4's performance can improve as it is exposed to more diverse and extensive user interaction. So as more and more users across the world are interacting with GPT-4, then it is getting more mature day by day, right? So the good news is that you can customize. So either you can just use a pre-trained model, or you can customize as well. So some LLMs offer customization option for specific industry needs. Like GPT-4 can be fine-tuned for specific legal analysis of medical advice, right? Let's say you want the language to be really legal language. Like you can actually customize your model to achieve that level of understanding. So here it just shows you, like, these are the kind of inputs you can say. It could be a structured data, it could be text, it could be voice. So all these you basically go so this input goes to the training model. It goes to the so you train your data, or your training you have got your training data, right? You give it to the large language model. It adapts because it's continuously learning. It's continuously learning, and it can produce, you can get information, you can get instruction, you can do object recognition, right? You can do image captioning, you can do something like a Q&A, you can create a quiz, you can do sentiment analysis, like what we studied. Like we'll see more examples of it when we study the OCI language. That it can do sentiment analysis in terms of whether it's a positive text, whether it is a negative sentiment, or it is kind of a neutral sentiment. So I think now you've got a good understanding of what an LLM or a large language model is. So thanks for watching.